Have you ever wondered why you can't save your images in RAW format in Photoshop, even though your camera has a RAW capture mode? This question has puzzled many, and today we're here to unravel the misconceptions about the RAW format in Photoshop. You see, when you capture images in RAW mode with a digital camera, you're afforded certain advantages in terms of ultimate image quality. So naturally, it would seem logical to save your images in the RAW format. But here's the catch: you can't. Now, you might be thinking, but I've seen the RAW file format listed in the Save As dialog in Photoshop's Format drop-down menu. Yes, you're absolutely right. But, and this is a big but, the RAW file format in Photoshop is not the same as the RAW capture mode on your camera. Confused? Let's break it down. The term RAW in Photoshop refers to a file format that is used to send images as raw data to another application that doesn't support other file formats. It's like a courier service for your images, taking them from Photoshop and delivering them to another application in a format that the other application can understand. However, this doesn't mean you'll be using this format to save your images. In fact, trust us when we say you'll almost never need to save a file in this format. It's there as a conduit, a bridge if you will, between Photoshop and other applications. So while the RAW capture mode on your camera and the RAW file format in Photoshop may share the same name, they serve very different purposes. It's a common misconception, but now you know. So it's clear that the RAW file format in Photoshop is not intended for saving your images like the RAW capture mode on your camera. It's a tool for transport, not storage. And with that, we've unraveled one of the biggest misconceptions about the RAW format in Photoshop. Stay tuned for more insights in our next scene where we'll delve into the PSD and TIFF formats. Since we can't save our photos in RAW format in Photoshop, what are the alternatives? This question brings us to the heart of today's discussion. Photoshop PSD and TIFF file formats, each with its unique benefits and limitations, are the two primary alternatives to RAW. Let's start with the Photoshop PSD format. Many of us, photographers and photo enthusiasts alike, use Photoshop to refine our images. In the past, the PSD format was an absolute favorite for saving all archival images. The reason? It allowed us to save all the layers we use to modify an image. This feature was a game changer, enabling us to revisit and tweak our edits at any time. But here's the twist. As much as we love the PSD format, there's a growing preference for the TIFF file format. And why is that, you might ask? Well, it's simple. TIFF offers the same capabilities as PSD, but in a non-proprietary format. This means it's not tied to any specific software or developer, making it more versatile and widely compatible. However, it's crucial to note that while both formats have their merits, they also share a common shortcoming. Layered files, whether saved in the Photoshop PSD or TIFF file format, often come with a caveat. They usually can't be opened with layers intact in other software. This means that while you can open them in different applications, you might not be able to access all the individual layers you originally created. So what does this mean for you? If you're working exclusively in Photoshop, either format should serve you well. But if you're planning to switch between different software, you might need to weigh your options carefully. In conclusion, while Photoshop's PSD and TIFF formats offer a range of possibilities, they may not preserve layers when opened in other software. Understanding these formats can help you make the most of your photography and editing process. So be sure to consider your workflow carefully when deciding which format to use.